guys, welcome back to the channel. Today you will be watching episode 3 of Project Poetry. So today is Monday the 30th of October and I just got my beta reader feedback back and I'm so excited because this is so weird but so cool. So I don't know how to feel. A part of me doesn't want to work on it, but another part of me wants to go back to what I know and the familiar, because I am technically filming another video today as well, but I just want to go straight back into Project Poetry, and I feel like I've given myself enough distance from it now, so I'm really excited to go back, work on it, improve it a bit more, and hopefully the next time we go through the beta round there'll be less issues. Just fingers crossed. But I actually haven't gone through the comments. I just checked to make sure that they are in the document because we didn't really know how to do this, so we just prayed for the best really. But I'm really excited and I honestly cannot wait. Just give me a minute, I need to check that's not some human and it is just a bird. These birds are not cooperating with me today or ever. But anyhow, so it's almost 1 p.m. and I have yet to start working. I really need to get some work done, which is why I started filming another video, because I need to write something technically, because I don't want my publishing schedule once I do start publishing to have like this giant gap, even though I feel like that will happen eventually and it will come soon. But as of now, if I have more control over things right now, I want to like try and make as small of a gap as possible between each release. That does kind of take into account if like burnout, time, other people's time, and many other factors that are too external for me to control. So I want to do whatever I can to try and like minimize that gap as much as possible. We technically haven't done any reveals yet, and I don't think I want to do one until this entire book is done, because I can't technically, for some reason, I don't know how to generate a template for the cover until my entire book is finished. And that kind of throws me off, because that means I need to finish it to send the template over to my friend who will be illustrating my cover, and that means we do need to get a move on with Project Poetry. But until then, I guess I really just want to get back into working on it. I really do miss the story. I don't remember some of the poems, so once she this morning, literally she messaged me technically at 1 a.m. I was asleep, so I saw it at 8 a.m. and it was like this random line from a poem. I'm like, I wonder what is this poem? I have memory of no poem at this point, so I missed the book so much that I want to go straight back into working on it. So I think I'm going to pause the other video and just get back into Project Poetry, because I really just want to get back into it and I just feel inspired to work on it as well. So we're gonna get right back into Project Poetry, and that other video can technically wait because I am filming it over a year. You'll see that video in like a really long time. So I am going to go through her feedback and plan out what technically Project Poetry episode 3 will be including, because I did not think that far ahead. I was actually going to do this tomorrow because I anticipated her to return it tomorrow, which was the actual day that she was meant to send it back. But she's just so on top of things and I love her to death. Thank you so much, Talia, for being part of this, and I really hope you enjoyed the book, even though it's technically in its editing phase still. So this is completely unrelated to anything really, but every time I start writing or doing any content work, I always get interrupted. I think I need to plan better, or just like have a better system, because once I get distracted I do find it hard to like refocus my brain. So that was a bit annoying, but at least I have my passport now, so I'm really excited. And yeah, that's basically the update. But at least now I can like work in peace without worrying about the mail coming, because that is literally what kept distracting me earlier, and I refused to work because I knew it was coming today sometime, but I didn't know what time. So thankfully it's over and done with now, and I can just focus on writing and editing. Hey guys, so I am literally holding the tripod right now because it's a bit wonky and I can't be bothered to set it up to just film this very short update. But I spent most of my day looking for beta readers for the second round, and oh my goodness, this was so hard. I never realized how many friends I had that were artists but not writers at the same time, which I get like makes sense, but I didn't realize how many friends were just illustrators. So I don't know what's going on with the lighting. I don't know if that made it any better. But yes, I finally found 3 beta readers, so hopefully round 2 we have a lot more feedback, but they should be like minimal, because technically the beta reader I just like did like the round should have been for major issues, but this is just like any final mistakes that may have like slipped through, or anything that needs like clarity, because sometimes that just happens when you edit a lot, like your brain fills in the gaps and you just don't recognize that you accidentally missed something like I did. So I'm actually gonna implement my first beta reader's amount of like edits in first, and then I'm gonna send the draft over into my Remarkable, read through quote-unquote draft 3, and then make some notes, and then we'll get to draft 4 from there. But I think that's all we're gonna have time for today, because I also have another video I want to film, and I want to do another workout, because I have been in this very crazy workout grind, so we don't know what's going on really, and I have very little motivation to work today, maybe because it's just been really humid. But other than that, I'm gonna implement my beta readers feedback first.
Took some time to think about what you said. It wasn't right. Intentions we both misread, but pride aside, my actions I won't defend. No. And every time I see you, gotta hold myself down. I'm not used to the feeling, but it's pulling me now. Been losing my mind since the merry-go-round. I lose trying to lie when I feel like I'm found. And now I want you. I'm out of control, my heart's feeling. Got eyes on you. Now feel the way you make me feel it. Try like I'm healing. Stars on the ceiling. Not much that I wouldn't do. 'Cause yeah, I want you. Can no longer hold back the feeling. Was in denial, but several things I feel. Spent so much time wondering what was real. You drew a line. Take it all, deal, no deal. Nah. But every time I tell you that I'm coming to town, we link up every time. No, I'm not leaving without your views in my mind. Gotta figure it out. No use trying to lie, action screaming out loud. But it's not like that. Please don't fight back. Thought we caused some scenes. Can we get back?
Good morning. It has been such a long time since I last updated this vlog. So basically on Thursday the 7th, I think it was the 7th of December, I was on a call with one of my friends, and that ended up leading to me working on project poetry and just finishing the last of my beta feedback, which I kind of procrastinated on over for a month. So once I finished that, then I kind of like got into this, I guess, grind, and I just started like copy editing and doing a bit of proofreading. Then I found all 3 beta readers that I currently sent my project to. So project poetry is technically not with me for another 5 days. So it's kind of strange, but I just wanted to give you a quick update because I like completely forgot to film. I didn't do any time lapses or anything even. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. It's currently the 11th of December. I get my project back on the 15th. So yeah, we shall see how this goes. But oh my goodness, I think this is the final episode of the series. And also, this is like so close to the end. The book is basically done. I just have it like with the beta readers just to like make sure there's no more plot holes, because I am paranoid that there would be. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. We've also been working on some marketing stuff, so I'm actually not going to be filming that. I'll probably be filming those as like TikToks or Reels, but maybe you'll see in like a future vlog, who knows. But yeah, that's the update writing wise. But I think this series will be ending really soon, so we shall see how this episode goes, because I did not plan for this to be the final episode, but I guess here we are with the final episode. I literally love how this only has 6 comments from one of my beta readers, and then if I can like get it out without accidentally exposing anyone's identity. This has 433 comments, which isn't even the whole thing. It was actually like 500 plus, but I already went through some of them, so it's kind of funny. But anyway, that's that. Hey guys, so it has been an incredibly long time since I have updated this video, but today is the 18th of December. I think last time I updated you probably was a week ago, in theory. But anyhow, I finally got all my beta feedback today, and I'm so excited because the book is getting there so close. But after I got this next round of beta feedback, I'm like, maybe the book isn't there. Like, I'm actually starting to doubt the entire book and the entire storyline. But I have a lot of conflicting like feedback, so I don't really know if like it's bad or if it's good. So one of my beta readers was like personally going through a hard time, so I understood why she completely bombarded my document with like over 500 comments. And while I haven't necessarily gone through every single comment she's given me, most of them are like just minor changes. But then there's like some comments that like straight up don't make any sense to me. So who knows? Maybe she was just trying to like find her inner poet, or maybe she was just trying to bring up a point that I didn't notice or that any of my other beta readers did not catch. But other than that, my other beta reader, she just helped me with mostly formatting issues. And that was really useful because like I haven't started formatting yet, but like I do have some ideas on what I want to do with formatting. But other than that, we have like, I guess, a bit of a common theme of how there's like apparently this disconnect between grade 10 to grade 11, and I didn't realize it because I think I was too close to the book at this point, and I was like just reading over it and like it just seemed fine to me. But I guess after like major edits since the first round of beta feedback, it makes sense a little bit to me why it just seems to like not flow as easily and as cohesively as I thought it would have. But looking through their survey that I asked them to do, it seems like everyone has a different like favorite part. So we have some that love the happy ones, some that love the in-between, and some that really love the really sad parts. So it's really funny to me just like going through all of this feedback and just seeing the different like results. Also, I apologize, I refuse to turn on the light because there's still light outside, but it's also too hot to open the curtains. So that's the whole lighting issue. But other than that, I asked them if there was any plot holes I missed because I tried my best to wind them all up, but a lot of like, I don't know how to phrase this perfectly, but it seems like the general consensus is that there are no major plot holes or any plot holes in general. It's more like they either hate or love the motif that I have running through the whole the whole collection of poetry. So that's mainly the main thing with the plot holes I've noticed is what people are commenting on. So some of them suggested changing the entire motif, and I was like, I don't really know how that's going to make sense because it was kind of like trying to be an extended kind of metaphor motif thing where it just shows a whole like, I guess, consistent storyline and like plot. But I understand why they would say change because towards the end there is a change. I feel like I'm spoiling the book now, but basically a change happens, and I feel like that's why I see why they would tell me to change the motif. But to me, it doesn't make sense to change the motif because that was the whole theme. I wanted it to like come back full circle in a way. So I'm not going to be changing the motif per se, but I might try and make it more, I guess, refined towards the end where the change happens, and from then on. Okay, this was another random question I asked them if the persona annoyed them. Now, the persona was designed this way when I was planning the entire book out, and to be honest, I think I was just too close to the book at this point that I was sick of editing myself. That's why I asked this question most likely. And basically, they all gave the same general feedback. So I think I'm just overthinking. I think I'm just too close to this book, and maybe I just need a break from it in general. So maybe that's the whole thing. But yeah, basically that was a pretty fix. a pretty quick fix. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. And then I asked them like a general editing question, if the manuscript was clean or it needs to be more edited. Now there's a lot of different responses with this one. So some say, and I've noticed this is a major issue for them, grade 10 to grade 11 is like really bad, and I'm not so sure what they mean, but obviously they don't mean by like, I guess, line editing issues. It's more like general developmental issues. So we're going to work on that mostly. And then another thing was my friends did suggest like some stuff, more like things I could cut out, things that they felt a bit was repetitive, and things that they wanted, you know, to make more clear and like help the whole story flow. So that's basically just developmental stuff. So I can't wait till it's like completely finished because I'm so sick of developmental edits right now. And storyline overall, I think it's a hit or miss because like it's a very, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like you either connect or you don't connect, and like that's completely normal. Like not everyone's gonna love the book. So it was very interesting seeing those results, but like I understand why. No one can make the perfect book. This was my favorite part. I always ask people what their favorite lines were, and I did this so last minute, like the one line I changed that someone commented on. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you liked it, but I have no idea where that poem's from, and I don't remember why I did that, but I just know it was a last minute change. So I was laughing so much as I was looking through this. But other than that, we are gonna begin going through the many comments that we have, because I'm actually going to be sending this back to Talia tomorrow for like the final read through, and like pray that there are no more plot holes or a very bad disconnect between grade 11 and grade 10. Why did I say that backwards? I don't even know. But anyhow, I think it's dark enough now that I can turn on the light. So we're gonna get started, and I'm honestly just so done with this book. I just don't want to edit anymore, but like I want to make it better. So we're gonna get started on that. Also, I'm actually in the middle of working on another poetry book. You shall be seeing that video very soon, hopefully. But it's a little writing vlog and a little bit of a challenge as well. So without further ado, let's begin with editing.
Time back, all my old shit that I put on you.
Hey guys, and give me a minute. Happy Wednesday. It's the 20th of December, and I literally just sent off my draft 5 basically to Talia, and she's gonna do the final pass through, make sure there's no more plot holes, and trying to like make sure that there's no typos, errors, grammatical issues, punctuation, etc. So that's really good. Also, if you hear any thunderstorms or lightning or something like that, anything to do with rain really, we're currently going through this crazy rain season now. It just never ends. We just finally got out of our heat wave, and now we're in intense rain. So basically, I was meant to send it to her on the 19th, but I ended up finishing around 1 AM this morning, so I sent it to her pretty late in the night. But other than that, I'm glad I got it through. And basically this little update is just like my current thoughts on Project Poetry and just writing a book and publishing in general. So okay, with Project Poetry, I was editing draft 4 which is the draft I got beta feedback on. So I got I'm doing 3 rounds of beta feedback. 2 rounds Talia will be doing, and then 1 round was with my other friends. So they gave me an overwhelming amount of like feedback. Like we're talking 500 plus comments. I think I put like a little snippet of like the comments, but basically, oh my goodness, that was intense, and I didn't expect it to take me so long as well. But like most of it was like formatting issues, but as I was like reading some of the comments, like I understood why, but it seems like, I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes like when I added like the comments or like approved the suggestion, it kind of made the whole collection lose meaning. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm just too close to it. I don't know if I'm in my head. I don't know if I'm just really picky either, but like I was struggling. Like my entire book didn't feel like my book anymore, and I don't know if that's because I've been working on it for so long and I'm like just so close to it. Like, let's be realistic, it's been 5 months in the running, but still, like I didn't expect to feel that way. Of course, getting like over 500 plus comments is overwhelming in general already, and I was so like scared to even start tackling it. Like I really procrastinated, but not as much as with like the first round of beta feedback. Like I procrastinated so much on doing anything because I was scared that I was gonna have my heart ripped out firstly, but like I don't care really that much. But most importantly, I was scared that my entire book was trash, and like it's coming up to release day. I basically have almost everything but the cover and formatting done. I still have to go through proofreading, but like still, basically everything was already ordered and printed and just in process of production, and I just didn't like, I didn't know how to feel. Like I was scared that something was so majorly wrong and it was going to throw my entire timeline off, because I already started marketing and I was like, okay, well, marketing's not a big issue, like that's okay, but the whole production stuff and like the whole idea of like already creating graphics that had release days, like that freaked me out already. And I was like, maybe it's just a self-doubt thing as a writer, maybe it's like what is it, imposter syndrome, I don't know. But it was like the first time I felt so overwhelmed that I was thinking, maybe this isn't the right career path for me. Maybe I should stop, find a suitable career, and just focus my energy on a new career path and just a new direction in general for 2024. Maybe not so much on my business, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe I'm just like, just over my head right now. But anyhow, so editing the beta comments into my book was chaos in general. I didn't feel much of that process because I don't want to accidentally like expose like last names or anything. I know I could technically blur it, but I absolutely hate using the blurring thing when I'm editing. It's just a nightmare, honestly. But anyhow, so other than the whole overwhelming beta feedback situation, I also read through a lot of their comments. I usually send like a feedback survey form thing with the manuscript, and okay, I was actually expecting like kind of what I got, so it wasn't that shocking. But there were some parts that I was like, oh okay, I didn't really see that when I was editing. Maybe I was just too close to the book at that point, but I understood what they meant. And oh my goodness, deleting those poems, that actually hurt. I did not expect to feel like some sort of pain, but like I felt like my heart was just a little bit attacked. But other than that, it was fine. I got through it. And then I just spent a lot of time working on draft 5, doing a lot of copy editing. I feel like this entire vlog is just me copy editing and proofreading because I'm super paranoid and I always keep finding new things to add or like delete, and it just keeps going and going. So it's really bad. I really need to stop and like set a deadline and just like tell myself, this is it, the book is done, you can't do this anymore, which technically is not true because I could always like revise it again. But the point that I'm trying to get at is I'm paranoid and I feel like something's wrong, majorly wrong with the book. Anyhow, moving on to draft 5. Copy edits were done. Those were pretty okay. And then I realized the whole active voice, passive voice thing, and I freaked out again. I was like, okay, now I need to quickly get all those edits done before I send it to Talia, because if I didn't have to go through that after my mini freak out, then I would have sent it to her at 11:30. But no, I freaked out last minute and decided, no, I need to do all of this now because I just forgot like passive voice existed in general. And I don't know what randomly sparked that in my brain. But it did, and I'm glad it did because I accidentally used passive voice like 22 times, 23, something like that. And I was like, okay, thankfully these aren't major edits, so it was good. And thankfully it also helped like minimize my word count and just like make the story flow a lot easier. So I was really happy about that, and I'm glad I reminded myself to do it before I completely forgot. And yeah, now Talia has a cleaner manuscript, I suppose. So she's gonna get that back to me around 24th or 27th. Well, it'll depend really because Christmas celebrations are coming up, and I understand like some families are really big into it. I'm just kind of like in the process of waiting for beta feedback to come back. I'm giving myself more space away from the book, and then once I get it back, I'm going to implement changes and go back straight to my copy editing and crazy proofreading because it's just habit at this point. I think I'm just so worried something's going to slip through when I hit that publish button, and it's not healthy. I can definitely tell you that. I have definitely ruined my sleep schedule. I'm already a night owl. This is not helping. It's just getting worse at this point. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what she has to say in her feedback form, and I'm in the process of contacting some proofreading help. So I'm actually recruiting my friends and family to proofread and help me out. So I want at least 5 people. That's like my minimum, and so far I have 3 on board, and I'm just contacting a few others and just seeing if they're able to do it because I'm trying my best to get the book done as soon as possible, because to get like my custom cover file template for the book, I also needed to be done with finalized pages that have been formatted, as well as like an ISBN number. Now technically I could purchase the ISBN number, but I'm just too scared that the proofreading is going to go a bit intense, and me being me, I'm going to go crazy as well, so I just don't want to risk it really. And I feel like I could technically just start formatting, like it's nothing major. I could do it now, it wouldn't kill me, but I also want space away, and I have a lot of books I also want to read. So I think I'm just gonna enter a little bit of a binge reading session because I really want to get some books read before the new year comes. I do have a reading goal for next year, but that will be all in my 2024 goals, plans, etc. video, and I think I'm going to post that on the new year. And also I do want to say that this little episode, it will be ending after I have finished proofreading because I don't want the cover process to be part of it, even though I will be probably talking about it every now and then throughout, because the cover's going to be, well, technically, actually I don't know, I'll probably just tell you like ideas I have for the cover, but I won't give you like specifics. But I will be ending this once the entire proofreading is done and I place my order for my proof copy. But other than that, that's basically my thoughts right now. I am currently still in the process of, am I making the right decision? Am I doing the right career? Am I just wasting my time at this point? I don't know. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts and headspace right now. And I literally am so excited because I cannot wait for my packages to get here, which is another reason why I'm kind of questioning everything too. But I can't wait till my packages get here, and I am so excited to see the bookmark. And also I'm still planning on when to do my title reveal, blurb reveal and cover reveal. So we shall see how this goes. But other than that, really excited, and I absolutely cannot wait to see where this book goes, because I'm really hoping everything goes well and everything goes to plan. But fingers crossed that happens, but I know it won't because life is never conventional. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next clip. So let's pretend I know the last time I updated this vlog. It is currently the 24th of December, so technically Christmas Eve, but Talia sent back my draft yesterday with her comments, and basically I was out yesterday so I didn't have my laptop with me, and it's now 9:09 p.m. and I've literally been focusing on like uni's applications. Well, not really applications because I actually am in a uni now. So I was just trying to figure out how to enroll and all of that stuff. But other than that, I haven't really actually started editing in her like commentary and like feedback. So I'm going to focus on that. I want to try and finish this as soon as possible because I do have to send these out to my proofreaders. So I did find 5 proofreaders who are more than happy to help with this project. And I have to send that out on the 27th and they will have it until the rest of the year. So apologies if you cannot hear me. We have like an event going on for Christmas. But other than that, I have to get this done and I need to do my copy editing and my own personal proofreading because I am paranoid, as we all know. So I've done like who knows how many rounds of copy edits at this point, but we are just going to keep going with it because I'm like in too deep right now to even like think. So everything for packages, like the little promotional things I want to do, they're all ready to go. The only thing I'm missing are the books. So hopefully I, fingers crossed, get that done so quick because I need to order them. And it takes like 7 business days to get here. And I have a trip in mid-January. So I won't be here to get the books. And it's going to be published, I'm aiming for February. So yeah, that's basically all you really need to know for now. But I haven't chosen like a date specifically, but I know I want it to be February something. I'm also extremely tired and I found out one of my classes is going to be at 6 a.m. until 9 a.m. on a Saturday. And because I don't like live super close to the uni I chose to attend, I have to be on a train from 4 a.m. And then for some reason it takes so long to get there and there's a lot of like stops I have to change at as well, and I take forever to get ready in the morning, so I feel like I'm not even gonna run on any sleep at that point. I was like, you know what, I don't know, maybe I should think about this whole thing through. So I've been in like communication with my cover designer and we're trying to narrow down a cover idea. Are we getting there? Not really, because I can picture my mind and I want to add all these different elements, but then they don't flow and then I don't know anymore. We shall see how this goes, but I won't be showing any of that process because I don't have any of it. And I'll probably do like a title, cover, blurb reveal and like release date kind of reveal thing all together in like a little announcement video. And I'm still thinking if I want to do like, I remember when I first started watching AuthorTube and like BookTube in general, there was like a lot of like release week related content. So for like a whole week, in other words 5 videos, there would be like different videos relating to the book to celebrate the release of the book. And I was thinking I want to do something similar to that, but I'm not so sure what video ideas I want to use. So I've been trying to think of that, plan it out, been working on the promotional things, I've been thinking of marketing, TikToks, Reels, all of that stuff as well. And I have to also finish the book. If I don't update you, Merry Christmas, even though you won't be seeing this video anytime soon. Okay, so we have come to the final episode in this little series and it feels so surreal to say because it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it feels like it has been so much longer than it actually has been. Also, I will be posting a publishing timeline that actually did occur for this book and like how long it actually took me to write from the idea all the way until the finished product. So essentially, this is our favorite little question part of the video. And we're going to be discussing quite a few things because this is literally all the way from my first round of beta feedback to the final proofread and submission. So, how did I feel going through the first round of beta readers? It was definitely scary because it was the first time I had ever sent my book off to anyone in general, or like had someone externally, like not from my family, read it. So it was definitely strange and really just foreign at the first, I guess, time or round for beta readers, because I did do 3 rounds of beta readers. So it kind of got a little bit easier as we progressed. But the first round was definitely really hard and really strange, and to be honest, I didn't really like it, but I didn't hate it. So I guess it was pretty good overall. But I will say that going through the feedback once I did get it back was a little nerve-wracking because I didn't know what I was necessarily going to like be getting or what to expect, because I did ask for a lot of like developmental edits as well as some like copywriting and proofreading suggestions. So it was a bit scary, and the developmental edits definitely did take a lot out of me. It was really easy to do the copy editing and the proofreading edits, but developmental edits really made me question if I was actually going to go through with publishing this book. Okay, so the next question is getting feedback for something personal scary? So as you know, most people will say poetry is very personal to them and very subjective, which it is, but like art is subjective in like all mediums. So for me, I wouldn't not say that like as I progressed further, getting feedback got scarier per se, but it definitely did become like a lot more. Okay, so I have no idea where we left off because we just got interrupted, but basically getting feedback became not as scary even though we progressed further in the drafts, but it definitely increased a lot more in workload, and that was more daunting than I expected and anticipated for it to be. So the feedback necessarily or like having someone else read my work at that point was like completely non-existent. Like it was still there, but it wasn't as strong as the first time around. But definitely like the comments were a lot more than necessarily the fear of sending it or having someone read something that is considered personal, because to me the poetry collection I wrote wasn't really personal. It was more like based on an experience, and I just kind of turned it into a story, if that makes any sense. Am I happy with draft 3? Well, I can say draft 3 was one of the most dreadful drafts, even though it's my favorite draft. So it was only dreadful because the beta feedback really took a lot out of me and really made me question like what to keep, what to cut, and just like really think about the story holistically and how I really wanted to like have this, I guess, come in like a full circle moment, or like present itself overall with the entire storyline I had crafted. What was editing draft 4 like? So after I went through more copy edits alone, I created draft 4, and basically that was the next round of beta feedback. And this time around I had 2 beta readers, and this was the part where I definitely questioned if this was the career for me and if I should continue to go with this like further down the road. It was tough, I guess, way more mentally and emotionally. I wouldn't necessarily say that the beta readers had anything to do with it, but it was more like the amount of comments I had to go through that was a lot harder to deal with, because the first time around I only had like less than 30 comments, and then all of a sudden I had over 500 plus comments. So it was definitely an increase in comments overall, a very dramatic increase, and I don't think I was prepared to see that amount of comments or that number particularly. So I think that shook me a little more than I would have like ever planned for. But I would say that editing draft 4 was an experience in itself. I don't know how else to phrase it, because it was both emotional, fun, traumatic, happy, crazy, hectic, nostalgic, everything. Just it was crazy, and while it was a very hard amount of beta feedback to go through and just like, I guess, weave into the story or like necessarily understand what should be cut entirely, it definitely made the storyline a whole lot stronger and the poetry collection a lot, I guess, more complete and just feel more, I don't know if this is the right word, but perfect. I don't want to necessarily say it's perfect because no book in the world is perfect, but to me, I feel like the story was moving towards where I wanted it to go, but also with more dimension and depth, because it did feel not necessarily very 2D, but it felt like it could have had more. And I love the introduction of more like literary, more figurative techniques, and it definitely enhanced storytelling overall generally a lot more. Okay, so after draft 4, I also made a draft 5, which was my final draft, but that draft was very proofreading focused, and this was like my first full, very intense copy edit. So I copy edited, I guess, simultaneously throughout these drafts, and each time I was just like removing passive voice or like anything that didn't like help the story flow, changed a lot of words to make them a little stronger and like add more variety. But draft 5 was very, not necessarily slow or fast, but like somewhere in between, but it felt like I was working too slowly, but I was working too quickly. So that's how I felt with this draft overall. But when I sent it off for beta feedback, it was the final time, so it was like a, how does this storyline kind of work overall? Like, do you enjoy it or whatnot? It was definitely the most promising and the most, I guess, happy response I had gotten in a really long time. So it definitely gave me a bit of confidence that this book was good, because back when I was editing draft 4 for those 500 comments, I went through this like little emotional spiral. I was like really hating my persona, and I was questioning like if I should rewrite the entire book, even though I had basically had the cover done. I also had my marketing promo done, and I had a bunch of like things just prepped in general for the release. And I was like, if I rewrite this entire book, I'm not gonna make this release, and that would like throw my entire schedule off for publishing in 2024. But that draft 5 overall was a really, I guess, basic and average experience. So at the end of all this editing, did it make me feel more confident in my work? I would say yes, because it had gone through multiple different people and I had received very promising and like happy responses, and there were so many like favorite lines as well. So it definitely reassured me that this book felt pretty solid overall, and I felt comfortable and more confident in like, I guess, releasing or knowing that the release date was coming up really quickly. Okay, so I didn't hire a proofreader, but I had a bunch of my friends proofread for me. So this was an experience. I went through this phase of like, do I trust them enough to give them my book to proofread, or should I ask these certain people, but I know their like expertise in a way isn't like the skill level I want, but they're more like willing to read it. So it was a very questionable kind of like mix, but overall I kind of got a selection of both in a way, and it went really well. It was really promising as well. So I would say my feelings overall on sending it to my proofreaders was really positive. They all reassured me, and they also helped me a lot with the copy edits, like just like little things I missed when I was going through all these drafts. So it made the whole piece a lot stronger in general. And yeah, formatting it in itself was a whole nightmare. Do not recommend doing it yourself sometimes, especially if you do not have the patience or the commitment to learn and figure each little thing out independently or individually. So I used Microsoft Word. I didn't want to invest in like vellum. So I didn't originally want to invest into vellum because I didn't know if firstly I was even gonna like want to continue formatting my own books, even though that is a huge expense, like being saved. It's not really that huge, but I'm just calling it a bit of an expense because it really depends on who you're getting to format your book. So everyone's obviously going to be charging a different price, and since I live in Australia and most people work in USD, that conversion rate is going to be a lot more for me. Overall, I did my print book formatting in Microsoft Word, which was a whole experience in itself, and it was extremely, I wouldn't say necessarily painful for the actual like front matter book and back matter, but it was more like figuring out the page numbers and the situation that we had, and then of course the entire like header situation was not fun at all. And then necessarily it wasn't easy, but it wasn't completely difficult once you understood. So things did get easier as I continued learning and like I guess experimenting, if you want to call it that. But with my ebook, I basically just took my print book formatting, copied that Word doc and turned it into more of an ebook friendly version using Draft to Digital. And I'm not necessarily actually publishing through Draft to Digital, but I do just create my ebooks through there. So it was a lot easier, and honestly it was a lot less painful, but it was also really hard because my titles, like for the poems, were not showing up and I had no idea why, and then the stanzas weren't working and everything just kind of started to irritate me. So it took me like 8 hours to figure out the ebook when it took me a lot less to figure out the print book, which I found a little painful to know in general. But yes, I would definitely suggest either hiring a formatter if you don't think you can handle all of that, or just using vellum. I actually haven't used it before, but I would love to one day. But as of now, I'm not sure it's the best idea to invest into that platform at the start of my journey when I can still use Microsoft Word and still have it done basically to an extent that I like. And also in Microsoft Word, it's really versatile, but it's more like you just need to know what you're doing to make things cooperate for you and just have it a bit more hassle-free. Okay, so that was the formatting situation and experience I had, but the submission process to Ingram Spark was pretty, I guess, smooth sailing. I actually got my proof, like e-proof, really quickly, but then there was a file issue with my copyright page that I didn't know that when I first submitted it, so I had to rechange it, and that was basically the entire situation with that. So now the book is actually available for distribution, but like not released yet. So technically retailers can start, I guess, purchasing the book, which is so surreal to think. I actually searched it up yesterday and I actually saw it on Barnes & Noble. So if you want a sneak peek at the title, cover and blurb, that's basically where you're gonna find it. But yeah, right now I'm currently just trying to figure out my Goodreads author thingy and just finishing creating my author website because I haven't done so and I need to do it quickly. Thank you so much for following along. I hope you guys enjoyed, and honestly it's just so weird to think that Project Poetry is now done and you're gonna hear the title reveal, the cover reveal, the blurb reveal, and the release date really soon. Like it's literally gonna come out in probably less than a week when this video goes up. So it's so weird, but it's definitely so fun, and I'm so excited for you guys to read this book. And until then, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!